someone recently said to me that some emotional issues are very deep and not so easily resolved. And to be honest, I think what they did is they said the quiet part out loud, because you're not supposed to say that. Now, while the statement is true that some issues are tougher to resolve than others, I mean, let's be reasonable. That's the way everything works. Some things are easy, some things are hard. In comparison, some are harder than others. But they don't deserve that energy from you. They don't deserve that energy of being told how powerful they are. This is victim language to say that. Instead of you having power, you're giving power to this other thing, this problem, this emotional issue that it doesn't deserve. So from a psychological perspective, you did just make that thing more powerful. You made it seem scarier. But worse, and this is the really bad part, is you just preloaded an excuse to fail or to make little or no progress on the issue. Because you've just said, oh my God, this thing is it's so powerful. So that means that later on, when I say, I couldn't get over it, I couldn't solve that problem. Well, you already preloaded your excuse. You already said, I can't do that because look how hard it is. I mean, my goodness, I'm just me. How could I have possibly defeated this? So it's not language that you want to use from the psychological perspective. But when we talk about the metaphysical or law of attraction perspective on exactly the same thing of saying that some emotional issues are really deep and harder to resolve. So this more spiritual perspective, we always have to remember that energy flows where attention goes. I always get that one right. So whatever you focus on continues. It gains power, it gains momentum. And if you focus on something being hard, being more difficult, being powerful, being strong, then it will be. It will take that energy that you're giving it. It will take that attention that you're giving it. And it will become what you are afraid of it being. So it doesn't have to be that. So that's the psychological perspective on this and the law of attraction perspective on why it's bad. The fix for both of them is the same. And that's you being stronger and more powerful. So the power of that issue isn't necessarily going to change. It could remain the same. It could never become weaker. It could never become stronger. It could never become anything other than what it is. It is an emotional issue, maybe from childhood, a bad relationship, the can of milk or a carton of milk that you opened that was soured, or whatever it might be. Whatever you got that emotional issue, it might never change in its power. It might never change in what it is. But if your attention goes to you becoming more powerful, you becoming stronger, then that issue stays right where it was. And honestly, I think it'll go down, but let's assume that it doesn't. Let's assume it stays right where it is. Well, you're going to keep raising your power, your strength, your ability, and you are going to overshadow that issue by so much that it will, in effect, become weak, become nothing, become something that you can conquer. So, yeah, some issues might not be so easily resolved. You might have one down here that's easy to resolve, and one up here that's tough to resolve. But when you yourself are way up here, you don't care. You look down on both of them like they're nothing. It doesn't matter where they sit in difficulty level, because you're way up here. You have exceeded them by so much by focusing on your power and what you can do. And consider the phrase, The lion doesn't concern himself with the affairs of sheep. And that's exactly what this is. You become the lion up here. And these problems, doesn't matter if it's the toughest sheep out there, you're still a lion. You become that lion so that everything else looks like a sheep to you. Instead of giving that sheep steroids, don't take steroids. I was going to say give them to yourself, but don't take steroids. So what you do is you change what you can control in life. You change yourself. You can't change that problem. That problem is going to be there. Well, let's assume you can't change it. You may. You may be able to get rid of it. Fantastic. Not going to discount that. But again, you change yourself. You make yourself more powerful instead of being the victim, and you make those problems your victim. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and share it if you really like.